It's our last show, Eagles. I'm BR.
And I'm Yanani Lopez. That's right. The class of 2023 is almost out of here. On our last award-winning Eagles Perch.
Let's start with our successful Eaglet trip this spring. Our embedded reporter Avery brings us a story of their ups and downs of their national competition.
Olathe North Eaglettes dance team took a trip down to Orlando, Florida for NBA Nationals about a week ago.
I'm a senior, 12th grade, and I am on dance team. I think the most difficult thing about nationals is coming onto the practice floor and being really stressed but trying to hold the nerves back so you don't get in your head and ruin everything that you work so hard for. We had a cute little coach named Coach K fix us up and get us ready. Having so much time with your teammates and coming together for a main goal and pushing ourselves and pushing each other. I'd say the main competition that at the end of our season, the big one for the for the big title.
Leading up to this trip, the Eaglettes worked really hard, had multiple practices, multiple competitions leading up to the big nationals. We took a plane down there, took multiple of our girls, all of varsity. We had dancers that were alternates, but also dancers that were like in the routines while we were down there. First day, we had team dinners, stuff like that, just getting prepared. Second day, we performed jazz, which is our contemporary routine. The next day after contemporary, we performed game day and pom. And then after that, we figured out that we were in finals for game day. So on the next day after that, we performed. We first practiced in the morning, and then we performed in finals. And then after finals, we had awards and ended up being 7th place. So then we had that, and then after that, we went to Universal.
Kayla Sinclair. I am a teacher and the dance team coach. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you get to compete at a national level. Coming together as a team and dancing with each other and working hard. Getting to see you guys experience something new for the first time.
From our local dance team to the National Basketball League, they are halfway through the playoffs and still have a couple of months to go before the finals. BR tore himself away from the game to give us this recap.
Today we're talking about the NBA playoffs. So basically, in the East, the 76ers had swept the Brooklyn Nets in a best of 7 series, and the Nets had no chance. The 76ers pretty much just outplayed them the whole time. Nets had a great game plan on guarding Joel Embiid. They always doubled him every single time he touched the ball, but Joel had the right mind of passing the ball instead of trying to force up shots. So that led him to winning that series. Celtics versus Hawks. It was a pretty good series. The Hawks put up a good fight, but came up short, 4-2. The Celtics were just a better team, to be honest. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown led them the whole way to winning the whole series. Another game in the East, upset against the Bucks and Heat. The Bucks were the favorites, but the Heat came out and honestly just took it. even though Giannis was injured, like for 3 games, the first 3 games he was injured because he got injured game 1 from a leg injury from landing wrong on his, I think it was a knee injury. Probably was a knee injury or ankle injury. But yeah, nobody thought they were gonna beat the Bucks, but it happened. Upsets happen. Jimmy Butler played great. He had 50 points in Game 6 to seal the deal against the Bucks. But we're gonna move on to the West, and the first game of the West, I'd say the Denver Nuggets versus Timberwolves. The Timberwolves didn't have a chance, to be honest, but they won 1 game. That was good. I'll give them that game. Anthony Edwards, he did a pretty good job, but Jokic and the Nuggets were just a better team. They're the best team in the West, so you know what I'm saying. Everybody expected them to win, except like the East, like the Bucks versus Heat. But we're not gonna throw shots there. We can move on to the Lakers versus Memphis Grizzlies. So the Lakers beat them in 6. Dillon Brooks, we're going to talk about Dillon Brooks, the guy that pretty much helped the Lakers win because even though he's on the other team, he pretty much helped the Lakers win by throwing up all those bad shots and claiming LeBron was old and trash. But you know what I'm saying? It's LeBron James. He came out and took the series. Anthony Davis played all right. He wasn't that good, but you know what I'm saying? It was still a good series for him. We could talk about Rui Hachimura. He had a great series. He scored 86 points, and I'm pretty sure the Memphis Grizzlies bench only scored like 20 points the whole entire series, so that says something. And Rui's coming off the bench too. We could talk about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt played great defense on John Morant. John Morant, I think he averaged at least like 20 points that whole entire series. We can give props to Desmond Bane. He had a great series. He was probably the leading scorer for the Memphis Grizzlies. And also Jared Jackson. He had a good series too, but they fell short. But it's okay. They can bounce back to next year without Dillon Brooks. But Memphis, y'all had a great year, but the Lakers on top. We're going to move on to the Warriors, though. Warriors won in the best of 7. The Sacramento Kings are a fairly young team. Their oldest player is 26 years old, which was Domantas Sabonis. He's 26 years old, and everybody else is like 23 and younger. De'Aaron Fox played really good that series. Clutch player of the year. And also Malik Monk. Malik Monk played really good. But Steph Curry and the Warriors just a whole lot. Curry's a whole lot by himself without even being on the floor. Just his presence is crazy. He runs around like the whole time. He probably runs like 5 miles the whole entire game, if we're gonna be honest. And Klay Thompson, he had a all right series. It wasn't that good. But we talk about now him against the Lakers. Though he's splashing it. He's shooting from everywhere. Like last night, he was going crazy. But during that series, he was on and off pretty much. Honestly, it was a great series. The Sacramento Kings put up a great fight, even though they're a young team. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Warriors came out on top. That's pretty much it from right now. The semifinals right now are Lakers versus Warriors, 76ers versus Celtics, and Nuggets versus Suns, and Celtics versus 76ers. So, well, I'll keep you guys updated, but as of right now, that's it. And this is your Eagles ESPN. In his own brilliant way, our world affairs expert, racing expert, and apparently geoscience expert has given us not 1, but 2 packages on nature, terrariums, and fossils. Let's see what Eric has to offer.
There are many great ways to connect with the nature around you, but one of my personal favorites is making native terrariums. Terrariums are enclosed mini ecosystems that run on their own, and native terrariums are terrariums composed of things in your local environment that you have harvested. Today, I will show you how to make one with a jar, although you can use any size container. The first things you will need are some small to mid-sized rocks, which are easy to find. Then get dirt, as well as moss, which can be found beneath trees and in dirt, in really any forested area you can find. I actually have some saved for my last terrarium that I've been keeping outside, so that I don't actually have to go out and harvest every single time that I want to make a new terrarium. After that, get a piece of plastic the size and shape of your jar. This can be a piece of a plastic bag or plastic wrap, whichever you like. And you can also get activated carbon, but this is an optional ingredient. Then get any decorations you want. For me, This is some fossils that you will actually see me hunt for very, very shortly. First, you will place the rocks at the bottom as a drainage layer for excess water. Be careful here if you're using a glass container like me. Next, use scissors or pencil to cut holes in the plastic so water can get through, but not too much dirt can. This is not technically necessary, but it is very, very vital to the longevity of your terrarium. After this, add your carbon if you have some, then your dirt. I added a bit too much of both here, and my drainage layer is actually a bit too big, so take that into account if you're trying to use my video as a guide to make your own. Finally, put your moss and decorations in there. Just be ready to have some fun and take little bits of moss to try to fill in little gaps. Remember, it's not an exact science, and you're here to have fun and enjoy the environment. Once you have a beautiful terrarium, add water until you start seeing it dripping to the drainage layer, and close it. Finally, place it in a well-lit area, but not in direct sunlight or next to lamps as to not burn any moss. A day or so later, open it up and smell it. If it smells earthy, you did it. Your terrarium will last the test of time, without any attention. But this isn't the only fun thing you can do in nature, as me and some friends went to Mill Creek Streamway Park, which is only 5 minutes away from Olathe North. And we didn't just come here to look around, we came here to look at rocks. But not just any rocks, specific rocks. Specifically, rocks that used to be dead things that used to be living things. Or fossils. Fossils of a few different types can be found anywhere a rock is exposed in the city of Olathe, and are usually shells, but if you're lucky you can find some small bones or teeth. All of the fossils are over 60 million years old. My friends who were also stupid enough to spend a Saturday afternoon hitting rocks with hammers were Taylor, who likes Pokemon, and Quentin, who is dressed like the most stereotypical paleontologist of all time. Oh, and he also found an onion. You found a wild onion? Why is there a wild onion here? We found a nice little clearing with some rocks and got to work, and it didn't take too much time hammering and splitting rocks before we started finding fossils. We planned on just spending an hour or two fossil hunting, but we ended up spending 4 hours doing this, and it went pretty smoothly. Except for me getting my drone stolen, me cracking my phone's screen protector, and a few bug scares. Yeah, look at that, that's a full shell right there! But somehow, despite all of that, it was still fun. After a lot of hitting rocks, here are the fossils we found. They were all shells, and some we just found in the creek itself, as they don't erode as quickly as the rocks around them. I would definitely recommend this experience for anyone who wants to have some fun and look at some rocks. Or maybe you just want a snack.
In other entertainment news, the iconic Barbie takes the big screen. This summer, Barbie goes live action, and Maddie brings us Barbie's story.
Jordan versus LeBron, Democrat versus Republican, cats versus dog. These are all pretty common debates, but let's talk about what may be the biggest debate of the year, Barbie versus Oppenheimer. These two movies come out on the same day, July 21st. They both come from acclaimed Oscar-nominated directors, but they couldn't be more different. The plot of Barbie is sort of a mystery right now, but we know it focuses on her after she is kicked out of Barbie Land. Doesn't that sound like a nightmare? Also, with Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling playing Ken, it will definitely be a hit. Oppenheimer, on the other hand, talks about Cillian Murphy making an atomic bomb, I think. Obviously, this movie is going to be a very fun and happy film. And as a student currently in APUSH, I think I'll go see this. Definitely not because Florence Pugh is in it. So, who will win this battle? Well, the people will. No matter the box office result, moviegoers will have a great time seeing these films. July 21st, 2023 will be a war of cinema that I am very excited to watch. Which of these movies will you see first?
Our student body is known for both athletic and academic success, but we also do a lot of outreach. This time, it was our geometry class and technology class who gave their skills to provide a home for a veteran. Just put this together when they put the parts of a tiny house together.
Punished, and this is what the geometry and construction team found out last week. They went on a field trip to a wolf dog shelter about an hour and a half away from Olathe North, which was right along the river. Unfortunately, they were punished as the rain was relentless, and thus they could not actually build the house that they were planning on building, as this whole Because of the rain, they couldn't do any building, and instead just unloaded all the materials from the car and put a tarp over the top of them. Before they left, however, they did pet some dogs.
All right, Eagles, this is our last Eagles Perch. I'm here with
Urania.
BR.
Josh.
And, I just want to take the time out to really appreciate Mr. Lane, the class, and all that. You know, my fellow seniors right here, I just want to appreciate y'all and just say that this is our last time that y'all going to see us, and signing off.